Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Games Industry Executive Summary. This is Casey, and I have with me, as usual, we're back from Malmo, the Dashing Dave Thier,
We're back.
and the analyst, Manu Rosier.
Hello.
Welcome back. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Thank you. It's good to be back. It was good to be in Malmo, but it's good to be back.
Yes, both me and Dave were in Malmo for Nordic Game. Did a lot of cool stuff. Manu, your place was, of course, missed.
Yeah.
We did a live recording together with Patrick Rose, but I haven't managed to edit that video, so it's on the way. We'll see if I can get it to a certain point where I'm happy with it. It was very, very tricky to get that recording because I had to have I need to share my screen at the same time as I'm talking to the guys, and then we had two different equipment to record. But I'll look at it hopefully today and see if I can get it to work. And of course, today is May 30th.
No, it's not. Oh, wait, it is. Excuse me.
For some people, it's May 30th.
It's May
For
30th.
others,
Yes.
it's May 29th.
It's hard to tell. Yeah.
Yes, it depends on which drugs you've taken.
Yeah.
Listening to this podcast.
Sudafed. Yeah.
Yes. But we have some news to talk about. I'm not sure if there's anything we want to talk about in relationship to Nordic Game. I was going to share some pictures of me and you, Dave. We'll have to Photoshop Manu in there.
Awesome.
And then we have the Masterclass Friday. That was a huge success.
It was. It was real fun. I had a
It
great
was?
time. Yeah.
And you were working with, was it Nick or Geert?
Here.
Geert, yes. On choosing your next game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you get? I hope you get more subscriber. I hope you see you.
Manu.
Huh.
It was everywhere. Wherever I could, I was like, hey, everybody,
Good.
if you want to have the best news in under 30 seconds, go to guysweekly.substack.com right now. This is the only newsletter you need.
Perfect.
That's the kind of the pitch I was
Yeah, we had a lot of targeted subscriber acquisition.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we had a booth there. We had our roll-ups, and one of our roll-ups that I printed for this year was the Guys newsletter.
Awesome.
And I'm trying to see if I can share some photos with you.
Oh yeah! Wow. We are at almost 1.5K, 1,447.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, wow.
You
I
got
should get paid
200
for this.
200 people
Yeah.
last week.
200. Oh wow. Okay, there you go.
Good stuff.
So we just to summarize, so you're also aware, Manu, of what we did. We had the Mighty Nordic Executive Mingle. And speaking of that, which requires exclusive invites, okay, we've already booked next year.
Oh.
Same place, same everything.
Awesome.
The 26th of May, 2026. If you want an invite, please reach out, let us know, and we're more than happy to have you join us. So on that thing, we had, and of course, I added a lot of people from that. And then we went into, our talks and all that stuff, and everybody split and did their own business. But on the Friday masterclass, we had a presentation there, and that also was an opportunity for us to, of course, tell people about the newsletter. So Manu, I was happy. I hope we can repeat and do some of these things. I'm looking at Gamescom potentially.
Yeah.
If we can do a partnership of sorts, so that would be really cool. Tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, today we have Elden Ring, Night and Rain. Is that how you sell it?
Night Rain.
I
believe there's some coverage out there that people are already, reviews are already out.
Okay.
Something's out.
I want to know, before I dive into the news, are you guys excited?
No.
In this Elden Ring day.
Yeah, not hugely. I'm excited in concept, but I don't think I'm going to be playing day one.
Have you finished Claire yet?
Finished Elden Ring?
No, Claire.
No, I have not finished Claire Obscura, so that's a reason. Is that's where my energy is going to be put for the next couple of days.
What about you, Manu? Is this game on your radar?
No, because I don't have friends, and I don't want to play with friends. And it doesn't play a lot solo. Apparently, it's way too difficult to play it solo. So it's just a pass for me. I'm not interested. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
we
I
could
would.
be
So
your
it doesn't.
friends, Manu.
So the matchmaking, it's just too hard for matchmaking to be effective. Is that?
So you actually have to have people you trust and know can actually deliver on.
Yeah, that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah,
I
and
see.
one
I
other
see.
challenge I've noticed is also when you come to a certain age, it's difficult to get this appointment where we can play. It's like a limited time slot, and then usually there is one person that forgot to update the game and things like that. I mean, it's easier to play with kids; they have more time, but with adults that have a busy life, it's becoming difficult to really find the time to play that. And I want to play games frictionless without the constraint of other people. So that's why I focus more on single player experience most of the time. Speaking of which, I finished Doom, The Dark Ages.
Tell us about it.
Good. Um, I played Doom 2016. I finished it. I didn't play Doom Eternal for some reason. I couldn't start it. I mean, I started and then I stopped very quickly. And this one is really good. I mean, it's on Game Pass. Also, that's a big incentive to at least try the game. And then it felt rather good. They've introduced some interesting gameplay mechanics with the shield, and so and then after that, after finish, I just downloaded Doom Eternal that I had in my Steam library, and I'm playing that one right now. And yeah, no, it's quite a good experience. It's rather fun. I'm impressed by their engine. The loading time are ridiculous. They're just instant. I'm I'm used to do alt tab and check something on the net when a level is loading in another game, but in this case, I forget that it's already available instantly. It's the complete opposite to the Unreal Engine, where you have to go through an other engine where when you have to go through the shader compilation and stuff like that, and it takes a lot of time to. So it's an interesting. I think they have a different technical approach to allow you to start playing even if not everything has been loaded. And yeah, it's very again no friction. You have no reason to stop playing because the levels are loading instantly. So very very good job. Yeah, I think.
All right, I'll download it. I'll do it. I like you. I played 16, and then I played Eternal for like 3 hours,
Mhm.
and I like I enjoyed it conceptually. Like I liked what it was asking me to do, but it was just honestly, it was holding me a little tight at the time. Like you had to really be locked in and focused and paying a lot of attention. And in those early days of COVID, I didn't quite have that for me.
Yeah. Another game, if you can have a look, Casey, it's called Mini Shoot Adventures. And
Wait
Dave
a
is
second.
going to
I want
buy
this
it
one.
probably instantly.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'll do. I like fluffy pirates or fluffy sailors, all that stuff.
So
Mini shooters,
Mini Shoot.
Yeah.
mini shoot adventures. Or
Yes. Let's have a look
okay.
at that one.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. This is
That.
a Dave
So
situation.
what's this?
This does look like this looks like a Switch game to me.
It's somehow like a old school Zelda type of game with a
Hmm,
spaceship, and it's quite cheap. It's good. It's fun, and it's French, if I remember
Oh,
correctly. And very, I
the
think it's
French are ascendant.
overwhelming positive reviews. I think on Steam, and yeah,
I'm
it's
getting
a
Binding
good
of
little
Isaac.
one. Exploration, you know, it's typical game where you unlock more powers and then you can move. You see, it looks like a Zelda, an old school Zelda, when you look at them up. Quite cool,
Nope.
It's not like
refreshing.
an arena. It's like an open world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool. So I've had on that note, I was playing, as traveling is Switch time for me. So I was doing Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, which is really excellent.
Mm-hmm.
It's a remarkable, like it feels every bit like a traditional top-down Zelda game,
Mm-hmm.
but with mechanically totally different, and that's been super super cool to see.
A quick question about the Doom game.
Yeah.
Is there any relationship at all to the original Doom games in any shape or form? I mean, are you in the future, but you went back in time? What's happening?
I don't remember, to be fair. I don't really listen to what's happening. I just shoot
Doesn't
monster.
matter.
But it's medieval, and then you have evil forces. But now it looks, yeah, I don't know. It feels very technologically advanced, but Middle Ages at the same time. So it's medieval. I don't know, you call that fantasy somehow. And yeah,
Yeah.
Medieval fantasy
but,
sci-fi.
but there is a story. There is I think one of the things they've done this time, they've really added a single story driven thing, even if it's mostly about arena fighting. But there is a lore, there is a enemy, there is a lot of dialogue, cutscenes. Not something you saw that much in the previous Doom. So yeah, but I think
That's interesting to me because I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
That's not. I don't associate Doom with that at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll let him. I'll let him try. I'll always let him try. But for me, Doom, the narrative should be focused on on guns.
Yeah, and I think Doom Eternal was probably peak for Doom fans, and this one is great, but it's not as good as Doom Eternal. So I mean, for me, it was good. I really like the shield. I like the shield mechanics, what it brings to the gameplay. Because Doom Eternal is more about avoiding, because you can double sprint and double jump, while in Doom the Dark Ages, your mobility is not as great, but you have the shield to protect you. So it's also more melee because it's Middle Ages. So different, but and to be fair, I like these games that I'm sure I can finish, and not the games that are, I don't know how much time or dozens of hours it's going to take me to finish them.
Absolutely.
Hmm?
But you did finish Claire Obscure, have you?
No, I have to admit I pause right now because I'm somehow overwhelmed by the build and customization of the attack and things like that, and I'm not in the mood of going min-maxing and trying to find the best combo possible. I think it takes some time to get the combat, not the combat system, but the build system, basically, with all the different power and stuff. Or maybe I just I'm just over that, and I'm not into that anymore, which is a bit frustrating because the story is. Sorry.
I was asking, did you reach the ice place or the snow
No,
place?
I finished chapter 1, and then I saw, okay, now you have no spoiler, new character, so you have to build again that new character. And I don't want to do that thing. Yes, maybe I'll come back at some point.
I'm kind of just like, if I get new Pictos, I kind of equip them.
Yeah.
And then if things, I'm just like sort of banking on, like, if it gets too hard, then I'll do some kind of build optimization. But I haven't really done
exactly.
it yet.
Yeah, same.
Fair enough. I'm at a point right now where so I haven't played for a week, and I really want to finish it. It says here that it might take 30 hours to beat the main story, which is a good thing, hopefully. I want to finish it today, then, before Elden Ring comes in, because if I'm going to jump to that thing tomorrow or today,
or yesterday,
yeah,
I just have a feeling I will never go back. So I'll look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you've been very busy. We haven't seen you for 2 weeks. You've been playing some games. That's awesome.
And
do you want me to talk about? Yeah.
No, I've been. I know it's not directly related to the Gies, but I've been presenting the PC and console report to so many companies at this point. I think I'm about 12 or 15 in total. So it was also a good way to reconnect with all the EA friends that have not spread across the industry. It's always fun to see how people move left and right. So yeah, that's really cool. And I think we've presented the report to about 50 to 55. We did 50 to 55 sessions of that report, either online or offline. So yeah, very happy about the report and the reception and the feedback.
So now you know it by heart, more or less.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
did in the masterclass Friday. We did like do major takeaways and told people about the report.
Good.
And a lot of people picked up their phones and started like searching for it.
Awesome.
But we did pick up and have like a small dialogue about some of the takeaways, which was really cool. Gentlemen, let's jump into the news and talk about some of the highlights from this week. The number one item on the list: Apple just bought its first game studio, and its new gaming app will reportedly be revealed at June WWDC 2025. I assume WWDC is that like an electronics thing?
It's their developer conference.
Oh, okay.
It's an Apple specific thing.
Apple specific. Okay, cool. Does this matter? Is this really?
Is this the start of something? That's the question. Is Apple going to become a game publisher, or is just like one of these attempts? Like they all tried somehow to publish games. You had Google Stadia. You had some other attempts, and I don't know. I think it's interesting that Apple is at least moving in that direction. They've bought a very a game studio, but it's not like a major game studio at all. And I'm curious to see what will happen. They also ultimately finally lost the battle against Epic for the presence of Fortnite on the Apple Store, on the App Store. That's in the trends. And maybe it's a coincidence, or maybe they realize they cannot win on the gaming side. So let's build games instead of fighting against the people doing games. That's also a possibility.
Definitely. I don't know. I feel like Apple's just behind. And I feel like they have a big problem where you saw this a lot with Arcade, where their general brand ethos and their general concepts of who they are really run up against the games that people play on their platform. They have this idea that Apple is all about like crafted, high quality experiences. And that was really more in line with like the early App Store with Tiny Wings and Fruit Ninja and all that stuff. But over time, because of their actual policies, because of the way they run the App Store, free to play and hyper monetization came to really dominate. And they tried to wind the clock back with that on Apple Arcade and could not do that. And I don't think they're ever going to be successful doing that.
Do we know anything about Apple Arcade and the success of it?
It hasn't been great, I don't think.
It was preloaded on all iPhones, so it's a bit, or it was given for free maybe, or for a month or something. So it's difficult to really tell what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Apple does sometimes do some unexpected moves. And as an example, I remember, if you remember that game company, the makers of Journey, and I forgot the name of that other game they made. But they did, like, when they had their showcase, maybe this was like 8 years ago or so, they had like a full showcase for that other game. But it's like this type of move is a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put it, so to say. Like, I don't know how to read it as an investor. Let's say, how would you read this as an investor?
Yeah, absolutely. It's too early to tell, but I thought it was significant enough.
Okay. There is in this article, there is this quote here. The app will report. So they want to pre-install a new gaming app.
Yeah.
And it will be like a game launcher and hub where players can track achievements, leaderboards, messages, etc. Okay, now I see.
I think there are ways also maybe with this app to fight against any game company that would like to have their own shop or their own system outside of the App Store. Maybe that's a way to again close their ecosystem.
Okay. I will move over to the next item on the highlights. A game by the name grow a garden on Roblox is played by 5 million, well now 9 million CCU, pushing Roblox to its highest CCU yet, 16 million.
I've
What can we learn about
I've pasted a link where you can in the chat that you can click and show.
I have unfortunately, or I am in the process of circumventing that. I'll show it soon. This is so I'm just showing a video right now from the game itself.
You're just growing a garden. You do some crop stuff. You have flowers and stuff like that. Corn, a bit of everything. It's and obviously my kid is already hooked on that one, and it also keep growing when you are offline. And
it's Farmville.
Yeah, somehow, or just farming simulator.
Yeah, well, it's Farmville by way of like a Roblox tycoon. But tycoons are always kind of my favorite games on Roblox, and you see a lot of that DNA here, but not like tycoons are often just kind of straight linear or mostly linear, where you like get money and then you buy stuff and then you get more money and there's very limited things you can buy. This one has some decisions to be made, so I feel like they've been able to capitalize on the success of tycoons while taking some of the game design lessons of like the gaming industry writ large.
And initially, I thought it was kind of a competitor to Schedule 1, where you grow but weed, but no, not really. It's really plant in this case. But you can see how it can be perverted. The concept can be perverted at some point. Oh yeah,
there's a lot of choices here.
It looks great. Absolutely. Isn't it really nice looking?
Yeah.
A lot of options, and then the gardens just grow crazy, and it becomes also a thing, like, you know, not just the process of growing. I want to see this game as a standalone.
Why?
Somebody make it. Make it.
Roblox is big enough. It's big enough for everyone.
Fair enough. But I guess my take is like, there's a lot of cool experiences on Roblox, on Fortnite. Maybe not Fortnite, but Roblox mainly. Maybe even Minecraft. And I wish some of these become standalone experiences where, like, you know, somebody takes it to the next level from a quality perspective, from whatever other perspective you want to put in. But it's an opportunity as well from a monetary perspective as well.
Yeah, I mean,
and adding
the future of winning concept are probably already within Fortnite or within Roblox. That's in the same way that before it was the modding. Now it's the modding, but it's also this Roblox experience that are becoming popular. I think in this case, I see if you see the concurrent player, it's just massive so quickly, instantly, and you also wonder
if you have played Manu, if you know about Fish as well. That's an awesome game.
Okay.
Was there anything specific you wanted me to show in the link that you had?
Can you click the link or not?
Do you see it? I'm in it's a forum type place, right?
No, the link in the chat.
Oh, sorry. Give me a second though. Let me have a look. Let's see here. Okay. So here we go. Oh, okay, now I see. Directly moving into the numbers.
Yeah.
Give me a second here. Here we go. Boom.
Yeah, and I mean, I was not aware of that website, but actually, if you want to see some Roblox stat, you can just go there. It has the history of 14 days, and it's quite you see how big it is. So this is grow a garden. The green line is grow a garden, and it's dwarfing everything else by far. The previous hype game was what is it? Dead Rails. Dead Rails was high. Yeah, and then now it's just exploding. But you know, by far, Dead Rail is a good one also.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is just like non-Roblox game design is beginning to augment Roblox game design a little bit, you know, because the games are built really differently than like the games that you or I play for the most part.
Yeah.
But you see with something like Grow Garden that it's not just using these sort of traditional Roblox tactics. It's using more traditional gaming, like normal gaming tactics, and it's really effective.
Yeah.
Dead Rails did that too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when they did the. So I was going to add. I think what was a significant point to allow these games is persistency, and that technology wasn't available. I think in the beginning of the Roblox lifecycle. You were saying, Manu.
Yeah, no, the game is basically you have to protect the train. You're moving from one city to the other, and then you have to do a distance of so many miles, and this is the end game. So the end goal is to reach so many miles. You have zombies, you have other cowboy attacking you. You can upgrade each time you go to a town. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's. I mean, this is. I think this was absolutely worthy of a highlight, Manu. And I think it should open people's eyes, both from the perspective of like what's happening on these platforms and the ability to maybe invest in these platforms. I mean, I know a Stockholm-based fund that is investing in studios who are making games exclusively on Roblox. But I want to see it the other way around, where people find success in Roblox or in these platforms, and then bring their games to the rest of the world. Okay. Anything else, gentlemen, on this? Otherwise, I'll move over to the news section.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I noticed this as well, Manu, in my YouTube feed. I'm seeing a lot of people play Battlefront 2. And a lot of people playing Battlefront 2 talking about the game being ahead of its time. Now, the news article that you posted here, fans want Star Wars Battlefront 3 so bad that they pushed Battlefront 2 to an all-time Steam peak 8 years after launch, and even mocked up a menu for a third game on their own.
Yeah.
I guess time heals all wounds.
The game was amazing when it was stopped. Okay, they went to the point where the Net Promoter Score was super high. Everything was perfect with the game. At the time, EA stopped adding more content. There was also I put a link there, Resurgence Day, where they ask all players to just jump in the. It's in the chat again. I just put in the chat. Yeah. They ask players all to log in on the same day to show the importance of the player base. There are many reasons for this surge. One of them is Andor. Andor has been very popular, the TV show on Disney Plus, Star Wars TV show. So people feel like they want to play, and I think also indirectly the Fortnite, the Star Wars event in Fortnite, has reminded players what a great Star Wars shooter is. And it's probably not this experience in Fortnite. It's Fortnite right now, but it's Battlefront 2. And it's I don't know. It feels like right, but sometimes there are other considerations to be taken into.
Well, you can make Star Wars Battlefront 3, or you could just see if you could spin something up and make a new content for Star Wars Battlefront 2. If there's enough people around, can try and cram a little team together. That might be a good way of taking advantage of it, if at all possible.
Yes, but I think big publishers have a tendency to know better than players, or think they know better than players, and they would allocate their resources where they think it's the most profitable, and it doesn't seem to be the case for Battlefront at this point.
I mean, that first Walker assault before the full game came out. There was the Walker assault beta. I thought that was so good, and that was definitely the best level they had, was the Hoth level.
Yeah,
it was just, it did such a good job of narrative combined with fighting and all that.
And visually, it's still better than most of the new releases, to be fair. From a visual standpoint, it's just incredible. The depiction of the planet and everything is there, just amazing.
Is this was this 8 years ago?
2017. 17. Yeah.
So almost like
8. It's
It's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep, that was the olden times
Mm-hmm.
of Dice making amazing games. I will move over to the next item then on the news section. PC Now, majority of Capcom's digital game sales beats consoles. Maybe I'm sometimes when I read stuff, I feel like I need to read it again. PC Now, majority of Capcom's digital game sales beats consoles. Okay, are they saying that Capcom's Dave, am I not understanding what I'm reading? Are they saying that Capcom's digital sales are beating, on PC are beating the console sales?
Yeah.
I think so. Wait, put the text in front of me again.
I'll put it in front of you because I don't know, you need to reach out to these people, to your peers.
I know.
Yeah.
What?
The word now. I don't know what the word now is doing in there.
PC is majority of Capcom.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what they're trying to say. That's
Yeah.
what they're trying to say.
Of
But
course,
that is a really
we don't need
incomprehensible.
to add this part, the beat consoles part,
Yeah.
because it's given. But okay, anyway.
Yeah, most of it has more digital sales on PC than
Yes.
consoles. That's what the next sentence says, at least, and that is sort of borne out in the headline.
Okay. So Joe, the TLDR is Capcom's fiscal year 2024. Reports reveal PC as the leading platform for digital game sales, accounting for 60% of the total digital sales for Capcom. I mean, Capcom has been on fire for a while.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like they're not doing any wrong missteps.
Nothing. Yeah, you have the Resident Evil that have been very successful in the probably past many years. It started back with Resident Evil 7, which is 2017. So I think in the last 8 years, they barely made any mistake. And then you had Monster Hunter World, you had Monster Hunter Wilds, you had the Street Fighter. Maybe there was some story for Street Fighter, I think recently, but I'm not. Now it's taken, so it's not even Street Fighter. So yeah, everything going well for them. The reason I think that it's interesting is it's a Japanese studio, and Japan has historically been skewed towards console and towards PlayStation. So I think it's interesting to see that they have a bigger share on PC, while they are initially more of these console games. I mean, Resident Evil was first a console game. Even Monster Hunter was also a console game, and all these games were branded as console, but the reality is that there are so many PC players around that they managed to make more revenue on the PC platform.
When we say PC platform as well, do we also account for Steam Decks?
I would assume that's PC.
Oh yeah, that's PC. Yeah, that's Steam. Steam is PC. Yeah.
I have been speaking to one of our Korean partners, and they're mentioning in Korea, most people play on PC, as an example.
On Korea, yeah, Korea, absolutely. Korea, but Japan is a different story. And I think you saw a doubling or tripling of the PC revenue in Japan in the last 5 years. But no, Korea, there is no console market over there. There is barely anything. Yeah.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Got it. I guess accessibility is becoming easier.
Yeah.
And also availability. I mean, maybe historically speaking, they don't necessarily publish or care about PC as much. There was another link. Do I need to look at that one? Capcom strengthens game development muscle with new Osaka base. What can we learn about that one, Dave? Or Manu, or both?
Oh, it's just, I think, because it was also a news about Capcom, and for once it's a good news where a studio is opening and not closing, and it's just, it goes well together.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, as we've said many times on this podcast, like, good news. We always like to see good news. And opening a studio, hiring folks, making games, that's good news.
Awesome. I feel like at one point I would love to do like a deep dive into Japanese publishers and see what they have been up to and what their success rates. Because we know Capcom is on fire, but I'm very curious. And I think last year there weren't maybe so good news for Square Enix.
Yeah.
But I would love to hear, okay, what's happening on Square? What's happening on Atlas? What's happening on Bandai Namco? Bandai Namco. I butchered that one. That one is on fire as well.
Mhm. More as a
On fire in a
publisher.
good way.
More as a publisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the King of the Fighter.
The SNK.
Yeah, and some of these. Yeah,
Did we? We talked about SNK, right?
probably
think
at
we
some
talked about
point, some time ago.
Yeah. Did you read that news about the King of Fighters and it didn't sell that well? I'm
Yeah,
not sure
yeah,
if you
yeah,
have any
yeah,
thoughts
yeah.
about that.
It was in the newsletter, so I read it somehow. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that
Okay.
nobody's heard about the latest King of the Fighter game or Fatal Fury. No, Fatal Fury. It was the one with Cristiano Ronaldo as a playable character. Yeah, exactly.
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the day they take. I mean, I
Mhm.
love Cristiano Ronaldo, but I would love to see him not be in that game.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'll move over to the next item here. Microsoft announces Retro Classics with Game Pass. Kicks things off with over 50 Activision games from the 80s and 90s.
Mhm.
50 games. That's a lot of games.
So you can
That's a
play
lot of games.
games like Space Quest, Robin Hood, these very old point and click games. Yeah, and they are just playable instantly. You don't need some kind of emulator or you don't need to do anything. So I don't know. Maybe it's a way to test the waters and see what players are playing and if there is anyone that deserves more than just a republishing.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I mean, I would a lot of these things like Pitfall, those feels like portable games to me. So that I would love to see that
Yeah.
for the theoretical Microsoft Portable that
Police
they've talked
Quest.
about. Yeah,
But
I'm just
Well,
having
it's-
fun reading some of the names of these games. And I love how some of them are just like, oh, yeah, it's Firefighter.
and
You're a
boxing.
firefighter. That's it. Yeah. But I loved Crackpot. That made me
Yeah,
crack up a bit.
so to speak.
Laser Blast. That must. Okay, I mean, I have to ask, why?
why not? It's very cheap. Okay?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, who is interested in these games? These games are not
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to be.
I mean, you
I
would
don't
be
think they're-
surprised how much how big is also the community of people that they just like the old games, And until now, they had to find a way to find the games, download them, and make them run on Windows because most of them were designed for MS DOS. So yeah, just again, it keeps you in the Game Pass, huh?
Yeah, and I think I agree with Manu that because the way these games were accessed before, there's no reliable data on who's playing them or who's interested in them or anything like that. And so this would be a way to sort of actually gauge like what is the relationship of their player base to very old games.
Something you guys don't know about me is that when I was younger, I went through a console revolution in my household. We started at more modern consoles, and then we went down because we couldn't afford keeping the more expensive ones. So the Atari was the last one I had before I was able to afford something more expensive. And I remember playing Pitfall. But yeah, at the time, of course, as a child, you have the patience to play these games.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. I mean, I would love to show my kids these games and say, hey, look at what these people were playing 30, 40 years ago.
I mean, they're just watching it right now. It looks tough.
It is.
Especially, and like looks tough just kind of watching it, but also
you had that the joystick thing.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That wasn't easy to control.
But let's be fair. When you look at Pitfall, the gameplay it's 2D, but there is nothing, and the graphics are pixels. But there is already the basics of jumping, getting a rope, and avoiding creatures. It's just a different version of it.
Absolutely. Okay, I will move over to the next item here. So, after parting ways with EA, WRC gets new home and 6-year deal to reboot Rally series. EA bought Codemasters.
Mm-hmm.
That was maybe at this point, is it like 5 years ago?
around that. Yeah, probably they COVID time, before COVID. Yeah,
because for the life of them, they could not put out a good car game
well, they have
for a very long
F1.
time.
They have F1. Huh? F1 is a yearly title.
No, F1 did that come through Codemasters, right?
Yeah. You mean why did I think the idea to buy
Prior.
is to get the F1 license, the F1 license to be official racing type of publisher in the same way that they are with sports.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but sorry, just to recap, before they were so Need for Speed was the only car game that EA was putting out for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
The
Burnout.
franchise.
And Burnout. Burnout.
Burnout, that's also the one. But we were not seeing them come out like on a yearly basis, like with the
Need for
quality
Speed used
and the
Need for Speed used to be yearly. Yeah, it used to be a yearly
used to be
title.
okay.
Yeah.
But then they bought Codemasters,
Yeah.
and Codemasters came with WRC and some other brands. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Or
Mm-hmm.
okay, got it. Was F1 was part of that as well, or
That's the main reason why. That's the main reason why Codemaster was acquired. Yeah.
Now I see. Okay, cool. So what can we learn about this thing that EA is not doing WRC anymore?
Well, that was announced a long time ago, but the fact that WRC have kind of quickly found a new publisher, it's interesting, and I think Nakon, due to its size, is probably a better fit for AA games, while EA is more looking into the blockbusters type of game and type of sports. So yeah, I think it's a better match probably, and there are also rumors or news. It's a bit early to put that in the news that they might shut down Codemaster completely at EA and just dispatch the developers to other studios. So they will ultimately only be F1 as an ex Codemaster game, apparently.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do we know how many people worked at Codemaster when they were acquired?
It's not just a negative impact. Some of them are being moved. Some of them were not there already. Codemaster, I believe, has also been used to help the Battlefield team. Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. I'm just looking at some of the footage from F1 2025. Looks pretty okay.
Yeah,
It's a good F1 game for sure, but it's a niche audience somehow, because you only have F1. It's rather it's arcade and a bit realistic, but I mean, it's not Forza, it's not Gran Turismo, because it's only one type of car, which means that the audience is rather limited. Yeah.
When we look at Manu, when I was younger, you had to have a card game as part of your collection. Like that was one of the rotations you had to have. Like you have maybe your shooter game, your card game, or whatever. Has the audience for card games changed, or has it expanded over time?
No.
What do we know anything about that?
Yeah, it's very difficult to be just a card game. Yeah, I think Forza is there because it's also Microsoft's Game Pass, and it's a game everybody can play once you own an Xbox. And they've also gone for the Horizon to the open world type of car games, a bit like the last Need for Speed, so you can free roam, and it's not just purely about racing; it's just about free roaming. And there's been the purely simulation. There are games around like Assetto Corsa and Air Factor that have been there for ages, but they are mostly on PC. And then you have Gran Turismo on PlayStation, but I don't think it's growing that much. It's just purely. I mean, let's be honest. Unless you're really fan, racing is a bit boring. Ultimately, it's always turning, and it's not circling around. That's what it is. So unless you are very.
NASCAR is really exciting.
My favorite part is the green shells of racing.
But yeah, you have then racing. I mean, GTA Online is also a bit of it's vehicle driving type of game. So you have the pure racing games have been cannibalized by the vehicle driving games, like that one. Even Rocket League somehow is you drive a vehicle in that one, even if it's completely different. It's not about racing, and then you still have obviously Mario Kart in there. But the pure Need for Speed type of game, there's a reason why it's on a hiatus right now.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for that insight, Manu. Shall I jump over to the trends then?
Mm-hmm.
I will jump
Let's
over
do
to
it.
the first one here, which is gamers are making some publishers scared to use AI. Now, there was one thing specifically related to the Darth Vader and James Earl. Is it James Earl Jr.? No, sorry.
Jones.
Thank you, Jones. Apparently, he actually allowed people to use, or he gave his consent to use his voice.
Yeah. He has sold all the rights to his voice a long time ago to Disney. So there is nothing new in here. It's just that it's one of the first time that it's being used in that way. But it's been in the movie for a long time. Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting thing, right? Because I don't think there's any way that he could have known that this would be even remotely possible when he sold those rights. So obviously he sold blanket rights. That's all there is to it. But there's no way that he would have known that it could be used in this particular way.
Fair enough. But I mean, what are we trying to learn from this article then, Manu?
I think there is another thing that's not directly video game related. Is all this story about AI that's going to solve everything, and it's going to be so much saving because people are going to be replaced by AI, and the consumer might not be happy about that. So it's not that simple, and a lot of the narrative on the stock market in recent months has been about AI is the new thing, and everybody's using ChatGPT and other Copilot and stuff.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to replacing people that are making video games, not only it's not sure that it can be done on a technical level, but also from an audience perspective.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're looking for money, just say you're doing AI.
Gen AI.
Yes, something AI, and then people will throw money at you. But it does feel like it's being shoved down our throats in many ways, and I just noticed recently. I'm assuming you did the same. Google is now like the top thing that you get is an AI reply or a MLL. Is it called MLL, machine learning language?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a bit annoying, at least to me, who's I'm a bit older, maybe.
Yeah,
but I want answers. I want answers from humans. Like I want humans' experiences.
Yeah. And I think that there's one argument against AI, which is like, oh, it'll never be as good as humans, which I do believe is true.
Mm-hmm.
But like there are a lot of AI things which can fool people, and I think it's okay, even given that scenario, to be like, no, I value the human involved. Like that is important to me. It's not just about the product. I what I'm looking for is a way to access a human's creativity and emotions.
Yeah,
and that's what I want in my art.
So how much are you ready to pay to have your Google search processed by humans?
How much would I pay to rewind back the
Nothing,
time?
Because I'm the one who's processing my Google search.
Yeah, but my point is
right?
AI.
I'll pay $100.
AI.
Here's $100 a month.
Yeah. Just to have some kind of personal assistant. Okay. Can you check the link I posted also in the chat?
I mean, you're bombarding us today. Is it the Binance one or which one?
Yeah.
Got it. Give me a second.
Well, I think we're talking about two different things, right? Because in the art sphere, the game sphere, I think that's the human thing. For the Google results thing, the problem is just that it's frequently wrong, and that it, from an economic perspective, it will annihilate the content on which it relies, because this is all ways of just we've seen this before, right? The Google did those summary things. They've done those for a really long time, and those have been disastrous for the web overall and for media in specific. And so as Google continues to try to cannibalize all of the websites and links and sources of the information that it presents, there's not going to be any money left for the people to actually collate and produce that information.
So yeah, this one is a funny one because it shows that actually your AI might be human behind it. They kind of in this
Yeah, that's
case,
the technical term.
it's a company that faked having AI and was actually a real programmer. So
Well,
it's just an
That's
example
crazy.
of everything that can happen on the AI front. So let's be very cautious about that. Yeah.
This is almost like on the same level as that blood crazy lady.
And I don't know, a few years ago, I don't know if you remember, Amazon also, they started their physical shops where you had completely automatic checkouts, but actually it was people with camera looking at what you were buying and just yeah.
It was like, I mean, that's like a Theranos, right? They said that they had these machines doing their blood testing when really there was like a guy taking the samples and taking them to CVS and having them tested.
Yeah, it's and it's like the funny memes about whenever you have a distributor of cans that is actually very little people inside the machine that are just taking the can and taking the money and things. It's a bit.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah.
Or you don't.
Yeah.
Or you don't. Oh, this is really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, I'll move over to the next item on the trends. Of course, we're back in the movie business again. And it seems like there is, I don't know who this person is, but you probably know him better than I do. Alex Garland confirmed to direct live action Elden Ring movie from A24 and Bandai Namco.
Mm-hmm.
Is this exciting? Are you looking forward to seeing a potential Elden Ring movie?
Yeah, absolutely. And the guy is competent. Huh? It's done a few good movies, and yeah.
It seems like to me a movie that I want to see in the theaters because like it's all gonna hinge on presenting large, cool things, and so I want to go to the theater to see that.
Yeah, it has to look. It has to look credible. I mean, there's a thin line between looking terrible visually because you're just adapting video games and actually looking compelling. So it wouldn't be the first time that the art style ultimately of the movie doesn't work in a live action movie. As you've seen this terrible Dragon Ball movies, like live action movies. Street Fighter was also, I mean, some of the characters of Street Fighter, when you have them in a live action movie, it doesn't work that much. Same for Mortal Kombat. So let's cross the fingers, but at least it's a top tier director that's taking over that thing.
Absolutely. It's going to be really important to the environments need to feel like it's coming from, like it's unique to that world. But it would be interesting to see if they would do like any not necessarily tackle the main story in any shape or form, but like okay, here's a section of this family's rise to power or something like that. Mm-hmm. That could be interesting to look at.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move over to the next item. Me and Dave I believe, were talking about this last week. Nintendo, it wasn't Nintendo. It was PlayStation that cleaned house on the store and removed a lot of AI crap.
Mm-hmm.
I think it seems like there's another thing. Yeah.
No, Nintendo, they also changed the way the games appear in the shop so that to make sure that you don't have these shovelwares, but it's still apparently allowing rip-off games to be on the shop.
Got it. But this one, Pirates Anime Quest, amazing name, by the way. One boy's journey, a piece of island love. I probably should not read stuff anymore. But anyways, so this is like a One Piece ripoff. For those who don't know, One Piece is a huge anime manga series in Japan, worldwide popular, of course. And it's very blatant, like the ripoff when you look at the artwork here. But this thing is still on the shop, on the Nintendo shop.
I don't know. I've not done more research. I think it's just
Got
more a trend than anything else. In the same way, you have that in mobile games also.
Yeah.
No, it's tough because those lines are super fuzzy.
Mm,
At what point does something become a ripoff? At what point is something an inspiration? And like put an
mhm.
X on a guy's chest,
Yeah.
I could see other
Well,
situations in which that would not be a ripoff. This one does look like it is, but like
yeah. I,
it's a see it situation.
the irony then when it's Paul World, it's they cannot do that. Nintendo doesn't like
Hmm.
Paul World, but they just don't care so much about other
Yeah,
ripoffs.
Pal World, I would say, is firmly on the inspiration side. Some of the
Yeah.
monster designs I remember were a
I
Yeah,
little
love
yeah,
that.
basic.
I love that.
yeah.
I just wish that I mean both. Yeah, this goes for all these stores and shops. Like, yes, I know the cream will rise to the top,
Hmm.
but there needs to be some quality control, some type of yes, I don't want. I want indies to be able to publish their games without major restrictions or having to go to a publisher and
Hmm.
beg to get published. But I also want to make sure that the experience that I have as a player
Hmm.
is a good experience when I go on these shops, right? And I don't
Yeah.
get scammed because I'll be honest with you, if I didn't see the name of this product, I'm familiar with One Piece. I'm not an extreme fan or like very a fan who reads the stuff. I do follow it regularly here and there, but if I saw this picture without the logo, I might have thought that this was a One Piece type
Mhm.
of product. Okay, I'll move over to the next item then on the trends. What Fortnite's return to Apple App Store means for gamers. This is another exciting thing that we spoke
Hmm.
about last week. Tell us.
I think,
So Fortnite is back in the App Store.
yeah, I think short term it's good because Epic will be transferring some of that margin made by Apple to the players. I think their messaging right now is that if you buy coins outside of, directly on our own stores, you can save 20%. So it's
Okay.
30%, 20%. So someone is making 10% in the middle, and it's not Apple and it's not the player. But then the question will be,
I have another guess.
yeah, exactly, yes. But the question is, how captive will that become? And once each individual publisher or game has its own store, they can do whatever they want also at the same time. So yeah, again, it's bad news for Apple, good news for player, but let's just be cautious about in long term. Is it really good for players or not?
I mean, I would argue that more money for the developers, even if it is a giant thing like Epic, more money for the developers is good for players.
Yeah.
Well, you
The
could
worst
also
thing for
argue.
players is to give 30% to Apple.
You could argue that if several other companies can create some standardized applications to help developers get paid outside of the ecosystem, that could help a lot of other smaller games and publishers as well.
Yeah, the real test, like Fortnite is an established case. They're doing what they're doing, and the real
Yep.
test will be like the next hit game on mobile. What happens there?
Exactly. So, but tell me quickly so I understand. So I download. I go to the App Store, the Apple App Store. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
I download Fortnite like normal, and then inside of Fortnite, if I want to make a purchase, I click on the purchase thing, and it takes me to a web browser.
I don't know,
Is
but
that
I
correct?
think I think it's
No,
correct. But
that's what it was before.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what it was originally before they took it off a long time
Yeah.
ago. I mean, I think that it is basically our friends who do UX design are really salivating over this news because the goal is going to be getting mobile players to an external payment system as smoothly and comfortably as possible.
Here's what's confusing to me, even prior to this ruling. So if I want to watch Disney Plus or Netflix on an Apple device, I cannot subscribe to these services through the Apple
No.
system. I have to go outside, subscribe, and then So I feel like it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. I'm just
Yeah, it is, except there's no link like from inside of Apple. It's just like I have a subscription. and
Yeah.
I'm using it here.
Exactly.
And this is it's a little more relevant with Amazon, right? Because on Amazon you do use a subscription, but you also frequently buy like individual things.
Absolutely.
And so it's at that point that it becomes incredibly frustrating and annoying to like, I'm watching on my Apple TV and I want to buy a show, and it's like, it sucks. Actually, I'm assuming Apple TV. I'm talking, I would mostly do computer or
Yes.
iPad.
Yeah, I'll raise
And
my hand to that, by the way. Like, I recently tried to subscribe to Disney Plus, and it was impossible. I had to go to
yeah,
the
so for that kind of thing, this could be a really, really big deal. So luckily, we'll be giving more money to a different corporate overlord. This was always my goal.
Choose your god.
Yeah.
One more thing, just so I'm very clear on this as well. I can also launch my own app store on an Apple device. Is that correct?
I guess. Why not?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean that's my assumption. That
Okay,
you can do that.
Okay, cool. Okay. So we spoke about Clair Obscur a couple times. Let's talk about this one. The big Clair Obscur Expedition 33 interview. Sandfall and Kepler on team size. Oh, okay. I want to read this thing. And return of AA games and what's next. What have we learned about this article, Manu?
That people should
Do we
read
know
it.
the real? People should absolutely read this one.
Yeah,
that's a highlight for me. Do we know how many people work at Sandfall?
I think officially it's not many, but they also hire a lot of contractors just to do probably the Q&A localization and stuff like that. So it's always difficult to really say the number of people, exactly number of players. But I think many bigger publishers are kind of puzzled by how they managed to get that out with a very limited team. But it's not the first studio that makes that, and I think. Yeah, I think they are quoting games like Half-Life 2 or Ocarina of Time that were 60 or 70 people. So it's not impossible. Yeah. The challenge is that the games have become technically more complex, but at the same time, it's the Unreal Engine. So probably Epic is providing all the toolbox needed to operate the Unreal Engine in that context. And it's a matter of years. The game has been developed for, I think, 5-8 years, maybe. So yeah, if you want to put a game like that out in 2 years, you're going to need more people than if you take 8 years. That's also time, resources are. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, last time I took a look at the Clair Obscur. What is that list called again? The list that shows up at the end of the movie. Dave, I need your English help here.
The credits?
Yes.
Credits, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it was like 400-ish people plus.
Yeah. But I mean, you would have all the marketing people team and the people helping at Xbox and things like that. So there is a lot of external people, but just the pure core one.
Yeah. All the babies that were born and all that stuff. And, I love to be on credits list as well.
Yeah.
So, and on that note, Clair Obscur specifically has, to this point, or after 33 days, of course, we're working on these numbers. Expedition 33, in 33 days, sells 3.3 million copies, which is pretty, congratulations to those people. What an amazing game. I want to end today's podcast with talking about something that I am very unexcited for.
Okay, awesome, great.
It's part of the extraction shooter bloodbath.
Oh, there it is.
We have as we have coined it at this point. So Marathon is delayed.
Read again.
And then the rumor, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Marathon report. I don't know. It was in the rumor section, Manu.
Absolutely.
Report. Okay. Marathon delay likely as Sony cancels all paid marketing plans. And then there's an update on this.
I
have to look what the update is.
Because basically the quote is coming for a specific market. So we don't know if that market was ever going to get marketing money for the title. So it doesn't mean that globally
Yeah.
all the marketing spending have been stopped. I think for the quarter of the release. Yeah, and
Have you looked at Marathon in any shape or form?
No. I don't want to talk too much about it anymore. I feels like it's Ubisoft is quite happy right now because Marathon is taking all the bullets. You know, usually it's Ubisoft drama, but here it's a different story. Yeah,
These are definitely Ubisoft style dramas.
yeah.
Drama.
Maybe Dave, do you have any thoughts about Marathon?
You know, it's hard out there. I don't have any specific thoughts. No.
Do we know? I mean, is the game slated to release this year?
Sorry.
Do we know?
Does it have an actual release date? I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
September 23rd.
Oh yeah, Marathon has been announced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they're making this rumor then. If the publisher hasn't like retracted the release date and that type of stuff.
They have plenty of time to do that.
Can I buy the game?
Pre-order?
Yeah.
I don't know if there is a pricing if you can pre-order.
No, I can only add to wish list. And then it does say, I mean, this is on the official PlayStation Store, of course. It does say that it's going to release later this year, 23rd of September.
Yeah, well, I mean, GTA 6 was also supposed to release this year, so they can postpone. But the thing that it's announced, and we are 2-3 months away, and you don't even have the price. I don't think the price has been fully confirmed, so that gives them the opportunity to delay. Because if there is no pre-order, there is no problem with refunding the pre-orders and things like that. So it's easier to delay titles when it's not in pre-order yet.
Got it. I see now on Steam as well. It's available to view, not buy. Okay, well, we'll continue to follow this. It's going to be very interesting, especially on the heels of Concord from last year.
Yeah.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Or this calendar year? No,
Already?
last calendar year. Yeah, you're right.
No. Oh, yes. I don't remember.
It was this school year, which is how I'm once again in my life considering years.
August 24.
August. Okay, so just not actually quite this school year. Just about.
Okay.
And it was cancelled early September. So 10 days after. Yes.
Any predictions? Is that okay to ask?
About?
What will happen tomorrow? So two questions then, I guess. Question number
Nothing
one.
great.
Will we see Marathon this year?
Mm-hmm.
Question two. Do we think Marathon is going to be canceled?
For those who are only listening, I have raised both of my palms upward in a I don't know gesture.
I don't know. I don't know if there is any also agreement between Bungie and Sony into releasing more games. I don't know. I think there is a contractual need to release a game, so it might release in any case. And it's just Bungie, or whatever is left of Bungie. It's not like a new studio that you can quickly wipe under the floor. So I think Bungie deserve a shot at being successful with that title. So I think if it's cancelled, there is no Bungie anymore. It's over, you know. But
well, why would it not be? I mean, it should have been Destiny 3. I feel like wipe the slates clean.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there would be an opportunity there, definitely, because Destiny has a lot of legacy.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you have all the tech, you have all the designs, you have everything you need to be able to build and on the game.
I'll just launch Destiny Classic, and just restart with the OG Destiny and relaunch it like World of Warcraft.
Is that available? You can play it?
No, that's what they should do.
Hey, there you go. Boom. They should probably listen to this podcast.
Yes.
Okay, gentlemen, we've had a fun day today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for showing up and helping us understand what's happening in the world of games. Of course, if you're listening, please like, subscribe, hit the buttons, the bells, the whistles, all the things that are required to help us. I think I need to start. I need to start this podcast mentioning this, because I noticed when I was doing this, we were getting a bit more help from the listeners. But regardless, thank you so much. We really appreciate you, and we are looking forward to seeing you again next week.
See you next
Thank
week.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.